Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm down here at the blade shop. We fixed to do a little detailed information about this BMS500 sharpener that I purchased about little over a year ago, and finally got it up and running about 10.5 months ago. It took me about 3 months to get all the parts in that I needed and get it wired up the way I wanted it and plumbed up and everything else. I'm going to go over some of the details of the old Pro Series sharpener that I bought in 2010. I ran it for several years. I purchased a 250 sharpener probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it didn't really fit into my application or my operations, so I sold it down the road, and I upgraded to a BMS500 sharpener. This is the old Pro Series sharpener that I bought in 2010. In 2014, Woodmizer was at that point in time moving over to the 250 sharpeners, and they was no longer providing parts very well for the Pro Series sharpener. You can see the old name tag up there at the top. So anyway, that's what all this Frankenstein stuff is. This light switch controls my pump, and then this knob here controls the speed on the feed mechanism that feeds the blade up to the wheels. But this here's a 210 gallon per hour pump, and the hose comes up and runs in here. It comes to a T, and it comes down, and the oil is fed to both sides of that shoe down here to a 5-inch diameter CBN grinding wheel. All of that's well and good. Come over here to the brand new, to me, 500 sharpener, and the original pump that come with it is a 170 gallon per hour pump. Well, that don't jive too good in my brain, going to an 8-inch diameter wheel and the oil coming up only one side of the shoe, because there's no oil going to this side. They did drill holes throughout the bottom of this, in between on this end of it, but I still didn't feel like I was getting enough oil to an 8-inch diameter wheel, where the outer end is spinning at a faster circumference and slinging the oil off a good distance away from where the shoe is actually applying the oil. I was afraid the centrifugal force would be throwing the oil off my wheel before it got to the grinder. Anyway, so I put in an 810 gallon per hour pump, which comes in with an 1/2-inch hose here, which I put to a T. One line comes up here to the shoe, and the other line comes around over here to this manifold. And that allows me to put oil to both sides of the wheel, right at the wheel as the wheel's making contact with the blade. Now you have to be a little bit careful when you're taking the blade in and out, so as not to bump this magnetic manifold, because it'll knock it out of alignment fairly easy. Another thing you have to do is you have to get down inside your little control box here, and this apparatus right here, the original one is a 1.8 amps, and it would not handle the load of the higher gallon per hour pump. So I went to a 3.8, I think it is, maybe 3.5 amp draw. I wish I could think of the name of that dadgum part, but I can't. I'm drawing a brain cramp, and y'all just gonna have to look it up yourselves, I reckon. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the comments. But anyway, that's some of what we had to do. When you go to install these, there was 5 of those barbs right there, but you got to cut 2 off right there where my thumb's at to get it to slide up in there. But then you'll be able to run and have 810 gallons per hour oil going to your wheel. Another thing I changed is I bought little El Cheapo spatulas from Walmart, and I got them as blade wipers. I can put a little bit more pressure with them. They wipe the oil better than the original stuff that come on the sharpener. Anyway, we are fixing to fire it up, and I'll show you this rascal in operation. Come down here. We got the blade coming up to speed. We're going to make a little bit of a mess because the oil is going to go everywhere, and I'm trying to do everything one-handed with the sharpener and everything else. So we're now throwing oil everywhere. So now we're applying oil right at the shoe and also right at the blade where it's making contact. I get plenty of flow of oil through here, through the pan. It all comes and drains back here. I do like the clean-out pan that Woodmizer offered or has on the bottom of the 500. That is a really nice feature on this 500 sharpener. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody. Maybe you can do some of these things to your own sharpener. Y'all let me know in the comments anything else you'd like to see. I also added a counter where every time I sharpen the blade, I just tap that and I can keep count of how many blades I've sharpened with each wheel. This wheel right now so far is sharpened 350 blades with that one wheel, and it's still going. So I'm hoping at that point in time it's got me a little under $1 per blade for the wheels. I'm hoping it'll get up towards 700, which will have me at 50 cents or even less per blade. So anyway, y'all have a great day. I wish y'all the best. Take care.